Drainage system. The term drainage describes the river system of an area. Small streams following from different directions come together to form the main river, which ultimately drains into a large water body such as a lake or a sea or an ocean. At the area drained by a single river system is called a drainage basin. Any elevated area, such as a mountain or an upland, separates two drainage basins is known as water divide. Drainage systems of India. The drainage system of India are mainly controlled by the broad relief features of the subcontinent. Accordingly, the Indian rivers are divided into two major groups: the Himalayan rivers, the Peninsular rivers. Himalayan rivers. Most of the Himalayan rivers are perennial. It means that they have water throughout the year. But a large number of peninsular rivers are seasonal. Himalayan rivers. These rivers receive water from rain as well as from melted snow from those lofty mountains. Peninsular rivers. Peninsular rivers flow is dependent on rainfall. The Himalayan rivers have long courses from their source to the sea. The peninsular rivers have shorter and shallower courses as compared to Himalayan rivers. They perform intensive erosional activity in their upper courses and carry huge loads of silt and sand. Peninsular rivers. Erosional activities are less. Himalayan rivers. They also have well-developed deltas. Peninsular rivers. The small deltas by some rivers. Himalayan rivers. Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. Peninsular rivers. Narmada, Tapi, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Himalayan rivers. A major Himalayan river are the Indus, Ganga and the Brahmaputra. A river along with its tributaries may be called a river system. The Indus River System. The river Indus rises in Tibet near Lake Manasovar, flowing west. It enters India in the Ladakh. It forms a picturesque gorge in the part. The Indus River has several tributaries: the Zaskar, the Nubra, the Shiok, and the Hunza. Join it in the Kashmir region. The Indus flows through Baltistan and Gillette and emerges from the mountains at Attock. The Satluj, the Bias, the Ravi, the Chenab, and the Jhelum join together to enter the Indus near Mithankot in Pakistan. Beyond this, the Indus flows southwards, eventually reaching the Arabian Sea east of Karachi. The Indus Plain has very gentle slope, with a total length of 2,900 km. The Indus is one of the longest rivers of the world. A little over a third of the Indus basin is located in India. Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal and Punjab are and the rest in Pakistan. According to the regulations of the Indus Water Treaty 1960, India can use only 20% of the total water carried by the Indus River system. This water is used for irrigation in Punjab, Haryana, and southern and the western parts of Rajasthan. The headwaters of the Ganga, called the Bhagirathi, is fed by the Gangotri Glacier and joined by the Alaknanda at Devprayag in Uttarakhand. The Ganga River System. At Haridwar, the Ganga emerges from the mountains on the plains. The Ganga is joined by many tributaries from the Himalayas, such like Yamuna, the Gangra, the Gandak, and the Kosi. The Yamuna River rises from the Yamunotri Glacier in the Himalayas. It flows parallel to the Ganga as a right bank tributary and meets the Ganga at Allahabad. The Gandhara, the Gantak, and the Kosi rise in the Nepal Himalaya. They are the rivers which flood parts of the northern plains every year, causing widespread damage to life and property, whereas they enrich the soil for agricultural use. The main tributaries which come from the peninsular uplands are the Chambal, the Betwa, and the Son. These rise from the semi-arid areas, have shorter courses, and do not carry much water in them. The main stream flows southwards into Bangladesh and it is joined by Brahmaputra further downstream. It is known as the Meghna, the mighty river with waters from the Ganga and Brahmaputra flows into Bay of Bengal. The delta formed by these rivers is known as Sundarban Delta. The Namami Gange program is an integrated conservation mission approved as a flagship program by the Union government in 2014 to accomplish the twin objectives of effective abatement of pollution, conservation, and rejuvenation of national river Ganga. The delta formed by Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers is known as Sundarban Delta. The Sundarban Delta derived its name from the Sundari tree which grows well in marshland. It is world's largest and fastest growing delta. It is also the home of Royal Bengal tiger. The length of the Ganga is over 2,500 km. The type of drainage pattern formed by the Ganga river system is dendritic pattern. Ambala is located on the water divide between the Indus and the Ganga river systems. The plain from Ambala to the Sundarban stretch over nearly 1,800 km, but the fall in its slope is hardly 300 meters. In other words, there is a fall of just 1 meter for every 6 km. There, the Brahmaputra river system. The Brahmaputra rises in the Tibet east to Manasarovar Lake, very close to the sources of the Indus and the Satluj. It is slightly longer than the Indus and most of its course lies outside India. It follows eastward parallel to the Himalayas. On reaching the Namcha Barua 7,757 meter, it takes a U-turn and enters India in Arunachal Pradesh through a gorge. Here it is called Dihang and it is joined by the Dibang and Lohit and many other tributaries to form Brahmaputra in Assam. Brahmaputra is known as Changpo Po in Tibet and Jamuna in Bangladesh. In Tibet, the river carries a smaller volume of water and less lit as it is a cold and dry area. In India, it passes through a region of high rainfall. Here, the river carries a large volume of water and considerable amount of slit. Brahmaputra has a braided channel in its entire length in Assam and forms many riverine islands. Majuli in the Brahmaputra River is the largest inhabited riverine island in the world. Every year, during the rainy season, the river overflows its bank, causing widespread devastation due to floods in Assam and Bangladesh. Unlike other North Indian rivers, the Brahmaputra is marked by huge deposits of slit on its bed, causing the riverbed to rise. The river also shifts its channel frequently. The Peninsula Rivers. The main water divide in Peninsula Rivers is formed by the Western Ghats, which runs from north to south, close to western coast. Most of the major rivers of the peninsula, such as Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna, and the Kaveri, flow eastwards and drain into the Bay of Bengal. These rivers make deltas at their mouths. There are numerous small streams flowing west of the Western Ghats. The Narmada and the Tapi are the only long rivers which flow west and make estuaries. The drainage basin of the peninsula rivers are comparatively smaller in size. The Narmada Basin. The Narmada rises in the Amarkantak hills in Madhya Pradesh. Narmada flows towards the west in a rift valley formed due to the flooding. Marble rocks near Jabalpur, a deep gorge near Judhadhar Falls, are formed by Narmada River. All tributaries of the Narmada are very short, and most of these join the main stream at right angles. The Narmada Basin covers parts of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. The Narmada River Conservation Mission by the government of Madhya Pradesh is named Namami Deve Narmade. The Tapi Basin. The Tapi rises in the Satpura Ranges in the Bedul district of Madhya Pradesh. It also flows in a rift valley parallel to the Narmada, but it is much shorter in length. Its basin covers parts of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Maharashtra. The coastal plains between Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea are very narrow, hence, the coastal rivers are short. The main west flowing rivers other than Narmada and Tapi are given below. Sabarmati is flowing through Rajasthan and Gujarat. Mahi is flowing through Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat. Bharatpura is flowing through Kerala. Periyar is also flowing through Kerala. The Godavari Basin. The Godavari is the largest peninsular river. It rises from the slopes of the Western Ghats in the Nasik district of Maharashtra. Its length is about 1,500 km. It drains into the Bay of Bengal. Its drainage basin is also the largest among the peninsular rivers. The basin covers parts states of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. The Godavari is joined by a number of tributaries such as the Purna, Vadra, the Penhina, the Majra, the Vainganga, and the Penganga. Because of Godavari's length and area, it is also known as the Dakshin Ganga. The Mahanadi Basin. The Mahanadi rises in the highlands of Chhattisgarh. It flows through Odisha to reach the Bay of Bengal. The length of the river is about 860 km. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. The Krishna Basin. Rising from a spring near Mahabaleshwar, the Krishna flows for about 1400 km and reaches the Bay of Bengal. The Tungabhadra, the Koyana, the Ghatprabha, the Musi, and the Bhima are some of its tributaries. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. The Kaveri Basin. The Kaveri rises in the Brahmagiri range of the Western Ghats and it reaches the Bay of Bengal in the south of Kudalur in Tamil Nadu. The total length of the river is about 760 km. Its main tributaries are Amravati, Bhavani, Hemavati, and Kabini. Its basin drains parts of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. The river Kaveri makes the second biggest waterfall in India, known as the Sivasamudram Falls. The hydroelectric power generated from the falls is supplied to Mysuru, Bengaluru, and Kolar Goldfield. Kunchital Falls in Karnataka is the biggest waterfall in India. Besides these major rivers, there are some smaller rivers flowing towards the east. Those are Damodar is in Jharkhand and West Bengal. Brahmani is in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Odisha. Baitarni is in Odisha. Subarnrekha is in Jharkhand and West Bengal. Lakes in India. India has many lakes. These differ from each other in the size and many other characteristics. Most lakes are permanent. Some contain water only during the rainy season, like the lakes in the basin of inland drainage of semi-arid regions. Formation of lakes. The lakes are formed as a result of tectonic activities, the action of glaciers and ice sheets by wind, river action, volcanic and human activities. A meandering river across a floodplain forms cut-off that later develops into oxbow lakes. Spits and bars form lagoons of the coastal areas, example the Chichilika Lake and Pulicat Lake and the Koloru Lake. Lakes in the region of inland drainage are some seasonal, for example, Samba Lakes in Rajasthan, which is saltwater lake. It is used for producing salt. Most of the freshwater lakes are in the Himalayan region. They are of glacial origin. In other words, they are formed when glaciers dug out a basin which has later filled with the snowmelt. The Bular Lake in Jammu and Kashmir, in contrast, is the result of tectonic activity. It is the largest freshwater lake in India. The Dal Lake, Bhimtal, Nainital, the Loktal, and the Barpani are some of other important freshwater lakes. Man-made lake. The damming of the rivers for generations of hydel power has also led to the formation of lakes, such as Guru Gobind Sagar Barka Nagal project. Uses of lakes. Lakes are of great value to human beings. A lake helps us to regulate the flow of a river. During heavy rains, it prevents flooding, and during the dry season, it helps us to maintain even a flow of water. Lakes can also be used for developing hydel power. They moderate the climate of the surroundings, maintain the aquatic ecosystem, enhancing natural beauty, help develop tourism and fisheries. Role of rivers in the economy. Rivers have been of fundamental importance throughout the human history. Water from the rivers is a basic natural resource essential for various human activities. Therefore, riverbanks have attracted settlers from ancient times. These settlements have now become big cities. Using rivers for irrigation, navigation, hydropower generation is of special significance. particularly to a country like India, where agriculture is a major source of livelihood of the major of its population. River pollution. The growing domestic, municipal, industrial, and agricultural demand for water from rivers naturally affects the quality of water. As a result, more and more water is being drained out of the rivers, reducing their volume. On the other hand, a heavy load of untreated sewage and industrial influents are emptied into the rivers. This affects not only the quality of the water but also the self cleansing capacity of the river. But the increasing urbanization and industrialization do not allow it to happen, and the pollution level of many rivers has been rising. Concern over rising pollution in our rivers led to the launching of various action plans to clean the rivers.